Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to talk about something that sounds super grown up, but is actually a huge part of our everyday lives. Taxes. I know, the word taxes might make you think of boring paperwork, but stick with me. I promise it's more exciting than it sounds. Think of it like this. Taxes are the secret ingredient that helps build the world around us. So, how exactly do they work? And why do they matter so much for our future? Let's dive in and figure it out together. Imagine our country is like a giant family. And in this family, everyone who earns money, like your parents from their jobs, or a company that sells cool stuff, puts a little bit of that money into a big family piggy bank. This piggy bank is what we call taxes. It's not about taking money away just for fun. It's about pooling our resources together to pay for all the important things we share as a community. So, what kind of things are in this giant family piggy bank? Well, think about the school you go to, the desks, the books, your teachers' salaries. A lot of that is paid for by taxes. What about the roads we drive on to get to school or to the movies? Yep, taxes help build and fix those. And the awesome public parks where you play soccer or have picnics. Taxes help keep them clean and safe. Even the firefighters who rush to help in an emergency and the police officers who keep our neighborhoods safe are paid through this big community fund. It's like we're all chipping in to make our home, our country, a better and safer place for everyone. Now, let's think about this piggy bank on a bigger scale. It's not just for things we see every day. The government, which is like the manager of our big family, uses this tax money to plan for the future. This is where it gets really cool. Imagine the economy is like a giant seesaw. Sometimes it's balanced perfectly, and everything is going smoothly. But other times, it can tip too far one way or the other. When the economy is growing really, really fast, it might sound great, but it can be like a car speeding out of control. Prices for everything, from candy to video games, can start to go up super fast. This is called inflation. To slow things down a bit and keep the seesaw from tipping over, the government might decide to take a little more from the piggy bank, meaning they might increase taxes slightly. This leaves people with a little less money to spend, which helps cool down the super fast spending and brings prices back to normal. It's like gently tapping the brakes on that speeding car. On the other hand, what if the economy is slow? Imagine people aren't buying much and companies aren't hiring new workers. The seesaw is dipping low on one side. In this case, the government can do the opposite. They can give everyone a tax cut, which means they take less money for the piggy bank. This leaves more money in your parents' pockets. With that extra money, they might decide to buy a new TV, go out for dinner, or take a family vacation. When more people start spending, businesses get busier. They start hiring more people, and the whole economy gets a boost. It's like giving the seesaw a little push to get it moving again. So, you see, taxes are like a superpower the government can use to keep our economic seesaw balanced. It's all about finding that sweet spot to make sure the economy is stable and healthy. A stable economy is super important because it means people have jobs, businesses can grow, and we can all plan for our futures without worrying too much about big, sudden changes. It creates a predictable environment where everyone has a better chance to succeed. Let's talk more about the future. Using tax money to invest in the future is one of the most important things a government does. Think about science and technology. Big, world-changing inventions rarely happen in someone's garage overnight. They often need years of research and a lot of money. The government uses tax money to fund scientific research. This could be for finding new cures for diseases, developing clean energy to protect our planet, or even exploring space. Your smartphone, the internet, GPS. All of these amazing technologies got a major boost from government-funded research that was paid for by, you guessed it, taxes. And what about education? We already mentioned schools, but it goes even further. Taxes help fund colleges and universities, and they can provide loans or grants to help students afford to go. Why is this so important? Because when more people get a good education, they can get better jobs, invent new things, and solve big problems. A well-educated population is like a super smart team that makes the whole country stronger and more successful. By investing in education today, we are planting the seeds for a brighter and more innovative future. Every dollar spent on a school is an investment in the leaders, scientists, and creators of tomorrow. Now, let's connect this to something you might know: video games. In many strategy games, you have to manage your resources. You collect gold or energy, and then you have to decide how to spend it. Do you build more defenses? Do you train more units? Or do you invest in research to unlock powerful new technologies for later in the game? Running a country is kind of like that. The tax money is the resource. The government has to make smart choices. Should they spend it on fixing roads right now? Or should they invest it in a long-term project like high-speed rail or research into artificial intelligence that will pay off big time in the future? These decisions are not always easy, and people often have different opinions on what's most important. That's why we have debates and elections, to decide together how we should use our collective piggy bank. It's a team effort. When the government spends tax money wisely on things that help us grow, it's called investment. These investments create a ripple effect. For example, building a new bridge doesn't just make travel easier, it also creates jobs for the construction workers who build it, the engineers who design it, and the people who make the steel and concrete. It's a win-win. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, you're the future. The decisions we make today about taxes will shape the world you grow up in and eventually lead. A country that invests in clean energy will have a healthier planet for you. A country that invests in great schools will give you the tools you need to achieve your dreams. A country that keeps its economy stable will mean more opportunities for you when you're ready to start your own career. Even though you don't pay taxes yet, understanding them is like having a sneak peek into how the world works. It helps you understand the news, why leaders make certain decisions, and how we can all work together to build a better society. When you hear people talking about taxes, you'll know it's not just some boring grown-up thing. It's a conversation about our shared future and what kind of world we want to create. It's about making sure our giant family has everything it needs to be happy, healthy, and successful for years to come. The next time you're riding on a smooth road, visiting a beautiful national park, or learning something cool from a great teacher at school, you can think about the journey that money took. It came from millions of people, all chipping in a small piece to create something big and wonderful that we all get to share. And that's the real power of taxes. It's the power of teamwork, building our future, one contribution at a time. Thanks so much for watching and for learning with me today. I hope this made the topic of taxes a little less mysterious and a lot more interesting. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into how our world works. See you in the next one.